So is this thing on? Okay, so here we go. Hey, what's up? This is me, Asiago, on XFLiX. Now, you may be wondering, the name, why is it called XFLiX? Why is it such a weird name? It wasn't because I was trying to be all unique and cool. It wasn't because, I couldn't think of any other name. Rather, it's because, I was playing on Photoshop one day, a few years back, and I was messing, with my logo, my XFLiX logo, XFLiX, and I somehow hit this weird distortion where I ended up turning my logo into like some sort of like a triangle form, and then like just reading it, it should really make no sense, but because my logo consisted of an X on both sides, I had an I, right in the middle. It created XFLiX. Now, I thought nothing of it at the time, but I thought it looked cool, so so I just kept that on standby. And then in recent days, I figured, hey, I wanted to use this for something, but like, what context? What would I use it for? And I had this idea for a podcast, and then I decided to, hey, I'll just put it on here. What the hell? Why not? No, I should really get a water bottle or something near me here. But anyways, hey guys, welcome to XFLiX. Now, this podcast here, I have no intention at all to like become famous or anything like that. I really don't care, to be honest. But what I do care about is just putting my thoughts, somewhere out there. Whether you want to listen to it, whether you don't, whether you like my voice or whether you hate my voice, I can really care less. Like, I'm really using this more as a personal journal of which I don't mind, putting out there because, well, why not? Because I can make a voice journal anywhere. I could just open up the recorder app on my phone and, record there. But, I feel like, I don't know, there's something exciting whenever I just let myself out there, because I want to try to be more of an open book. Hey, you want to know something about me, more often than not, I'm gonna, open myself up to you. And lately, I hadn't been too open, but you know what? I want to be more open to everybody. I want people to know the real me, 100% at all times, whether I'm at work, school, church, beyond. I want to be the real me. Okay, finally, here's some water. So, right here, I'm just chilling at the house, but this whole coronavirus thing going on. Well, everybody's pretty much forced to, quarantine themselves at home. Now, for me, I'm not too like concerned about the virus or anything like that. If I get it, I get it, but I know I'm gonna make it through, even if it is hell. But the chances of me actually getting it though are like almost to none. So I really don't have a concern, and that's just for me. But but everybody else is not me. Everybody else has a concern, whether genuine or whether just fed, by the panic of the masses. And so usually on my days off, I've been wanting to do this podcast for quite some time, like for about at least a good month now, but I hadn't been able to do it because on my days off, I spend them hanging out with my friends, spend my nights playing online with my friends, playing games, watching anime, the what for. And with this whole coronavirus thing hitting, freaking, we can't really do that because I can't have people over here at the house because I do not live on my own. I live with my parents, and so I pay rent here, and in the whole comfort of my room, I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want. I'm pretty much, I'm like an adult here. I am an adult here, but the thing is though, I'm still under their roof. So so when they say I can't have anyone over, I have to abide by that rule, and I respect that. But the thing is that my room has become like the main hangout spot for us. So when they announced that I couldn't have people over, that along with places like the mall, the stores, restaurants, everything else closing or being restricted to being drive-through or whatever, it just kind of forced us to temporarily suspend, the physical hangouts. Now, we still call each other. Now, we can still, text each other on our group chats and play against each other online and stuff. But, they're, the whole, human interaction part of it. It's not there. And and it kind of does suck, because some of my friends are quarantined entirely into their own homes, so where they can't even step outside. Some of them aren't allowed to. Some of them are a bit afraid. A lot of them, hey, they still got to go out and go to work, just like me. And some of them, they can go out, but there's really nothing out there for them to do. And that's the main thing, because honestly, I would still just gather up the friends who aren't quarantined inside their house up, and we can just drive around somewhere. But without anywhere to go or anywhere to just kind of chill at, or at least not anywhere where everybody is all in a single agreement, it's just kind of hard, So basically, I decided, and as a group, we decided, we should kind of just suspend the physical hangouts. Shoot, but you know what? In the midst of this fear, I just hope, I'm just hoping and praying that it just goes through, and that whoever gets it, can power through it, can even be healed of it miraculously, because I do believe in miracles, and that's really about it. And I'm also really just hoping that this whole thing blows over, not just the virus itself and the whole impending vaccine coming, but I'm just talking about the fear, the drama, everything around here. I'm just praying and hoping that things will not just go back to normal, but be better, or at least go back to normal. Anyways, for me personally, my thoughts about it, I think I give it maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, around 2 weeks before things start reverting back to normal, if things don't already revert back to the normal ways, the normal functions or whatever. Because honestly, it's just a really, really weird time that we're living in right now. God, with this whole social distancing thing, with this whole social isolation. Shoot, it's kind of scary. Although really this whole fiasco, this whole Corona fiasco, it doesn't really affect me. It does affect me somewhat, but it doesn't affect me super much like it does for most of other people. Because I work in a grocery store. Okay, if I need toilet paper, if I need water, if I need food or supplies or whatever, I literally work in the back room. I see it coming in. I'm not gonna be a jerk and just buy an entire box of it, before any customers can get their hands on it. Although, not gonna lie, I kind of already done that. But that's not the point. I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to do that. But hey, if we're running low on toilet paper and everyone else is still panic buying, I have to take measures in my own hands. I need stuff for myself too. Jesus, as a matter of fact, I bought an entire box of toilet paper yesterday actually, and get this, I work at a grocery store. I stock the shelves, I unload the trucks, and it's kind of like how if you shop at a grocery store enough times, you'll recognize the usual workers that work there. As for me, I recognize the frequent customers, and I recognize those who panic buy, and I recognize those who freaking filled up their entire carts with nothing but toilet paper, enough toilet paper to where they have a freaking tower in their cart. And when those same people see me walking out with a single box of toilet paper, they get all pissy. What the hell, man? Shoot, I'm just doing what you're doing. What, you don't like it now that I'm doing it? And you don't like seriously, man. And why are you worried about toilet paper when you already bought out half the store? Come on now. And look, I know I'm not entirely in the right here. I know, hey, I just did a jerkish thing. Other people need toilet paper too, but so do I. So the heck do I. Come on. But aside from that, okay, so where was I before I kind of rambled off track? I work in a grocery store. If I need stuff, I can get it, because I'm literally one of the first people to even get their hands on it before putting it out on the sales floor. And I work the Cap 2 position of Walmart. Now, if you don't know what that is, again, as I described before, we unload the trucks, we stock the freight, and we're mid-shift. We're right in between the daytime shift and the nighttime shift. We see, when we clock in, we see the daytime people and we get to see them close. And then we see the nighttime people clock in and we see them, do their thing. And by the time we leave, like they're just doing their own thing. Usually by the time we leave, it's around, I would say, anywhere between midnight and like 4 a.m. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Here's the thing. Let's see. Like, the time we're supposed to clock in is at 2 p.m. Right? 2 p.m. and our shift is supposed to end at 11 p.m. Straight and simple. I mean, that's a regular 8-hour shift. But because our position is very, very circumstantial. Like, I'm talking about, like, yeah, we can't just clock in at 2 and then clock out at 11. Everything is fine and dandy. No, because there's a lot of stuff to be done. There's a lot of work to be done, especially in these rough times where, like, we really have to stock the shelves because the shelves are just stinking empty. Like, for real. Like, shoot, it's really bad. I mean, it's already bad, when it's not Corona time, but when it is Corona time, it's especially bad because here's the thing. Like, on the normal, we clock in at 2, and we usually have 1 or 2 trucks. If it's a 2-truck day, and we only have like maybe like 12 people show up, it's gonna be a freaking like late night. Now here's the thing. Now it's not just the amount of trucks that come in, because we even had really good 2-truck days where we were able to leave on time. But the thing is, it's not just the trucks and the amount of stuff in those trucks, it's the people. Now, we can also have a good day with just 7 people if everybody, clocking in that day is a good person. Now, what I mean by good is that they're a hard worker and they will stay till they're, till they're finished. And trust me, they're real troopers. Because a lot of times, let's see, one of our biggest areas is it's chemicals. Now, when we say chemicals, we're talking about stuff like, laundry detergent, Fabuloso, Pine Sol, Tide, Gain, all the household chemicals. And it doesn't matter whether it's Corona time, doesn't matter whether it's Christmas time, whether it's summertime, all year long. That's one of our biggest areas, because it's just like food. It's a consumable. People are not going to just stop needing soap or stop needing, things to clean their clothes or floors with. Like, so in turn, we end up getting a lot of that. And especially now, since the shelves are just completely empty on those, and we need to really, hustle up and stock in them. So we get a lot of these chemicals, right? So we're not just talking about like maybe 5 pallets max. No, I mean, maybe on a good 1-truck day, yeah. But like, give the average, 1 large truck or 2-truck day. Whew, like, I'm talking about, we get like as many as like freaking 16 pallets. Yeah, 16 pallets of household chemicals coming into the store, and we usually have maybe 1 or 2 people working in there at a time. Now, why don't we just get everybody to blitz it? Well, the thing is, we do need like some good people, at least 1 or 2 people working the chemicals aisle, but we still got all the grocery aisles. We still got pharmacy, health and beauty department, and we also have the pets department, and even the infants. There's so much stuff we have to do between all of us that not everybody can be at one place at a time, unless the managers plan on us, to quickly work our aisles, and then we can all blitz the chemicals as last. And it's not just chemicals that we can blitz at last. It's also just any department that happens to be big that day. Like, sometimes chemicals ends up being done before lunch. Sometimes, it ends up being pets that's big. Sometimes it ends up that freaking grocery, like a single aisle grocery, like the baking aisle. Sometimes there's just a lot of cake mix because apparently, during coronavirus, people want to make cakes. But that's not the point. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be something big, and on the usual, especially because we don't come in and we don't start the trucks till so late in the afternoon. Yeah, like, we end up having to like not only stay our usual shift, but we have to finish, and finishing takes us beyond our shift. And now, back in the day, I'm talking about like maybe a couple of years ago when I started, everybody was everybody was experienced. Everybody had a good amount of years under their belt in Cap 2. Everybody, like I see, well, most of everybody stayed to finish. And even though we stayed till like 2 a.m., we at least make sure everything, got done. But, as years passed, we lost those old people. We got some new people. We changed management. I don't even know how many times. And things just began to get more lax and lax. And, it's good that we're starting to get more people. We have, new blood. But the thing is, it's that the whole morale of the team has gone down, since I started working here. And me and a few other people that have been there, for like the past 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah, we still do our thing. We still, work our butts off. We still do what we need to do. We still finish before we leave. But with all these new people coming in, they either they're just too lazy, or they don't really feel like, or they just really don't feel like doing what we do. So once the clock strikes 11, whether they're done or not, they'll just leave, and that really sucks. Especially if it's a 2-truck day, and we got a whole lot of freaking grocery, and maybe 1 or 2 hours get done before freaking most of everyone leaves at 11. And it sucks, because that means me, a few other people, or sometimes it's just me and my supervisor having to stay after till freaking 4 in the morning finishing everybody's crap. Damn, man, if you didn't know what how the back room works, or how freaking Walmart functions, I'm giving you a basic description of how the stocking game actually works. Sure, in other stores it may be better, other stores it may be worse, but that's just how this is my experience. And get this, this is my first and so far only retail job. Actually, technically, this is still my first job, period. I've been working at Walmart since 2017, and I started working in 2017. And here we are in 2020. I'm here doing my thing, and and this is the only retail experience I've had. But like I said, some other places, they're better because they have more people, and those people have a better morale, or maybe they're just quicker at doing things, period. Now, here we are in Corona time. Now, the managers, in response to people actually needing stuff, because again, around these times, all the aisles are empty as hell. You can't even get a can of Chef Boyardee unless you come in super early in the morning, because again, people just keep buying them out throughout the day. Damn, you should have seen it the other day when I pulled a pallet full of Lysol and stuff out. Man, that pallet was just long gone within 15 minutes. And it was a huge pallet too, because people are still panic buying. We're a few weeks into this whole virus thing, and people are still panic buying. You would think everybody would be stocked up by now. Sure, and I know, some people are just regularly grocery shopping. Some people didn't stockpile, but that's not the thing, though. The entire pallet shouldn't disappear within 15 minutes. It really shouldn't. People are still panic buying. People are thinking that this whole virus is the end of the freaking world. But let's see. I lost myself in my own rambling. Yeah, you're gonna get that a lot here on Zix, because I like to say what's on my mind. Okay, so what was I saying? La da da da, na 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 na. Crap, damn, man. I don't even remember. Okay, yeah. Oh, I lost it again. Okay, so okay, let's just move forward here. In Corona time, that's all I remember. In Corona time, yeah, all the shelves are empty. So we gotta keep on stocking. So the managers conducted this idea where, they will pull all the mechanics from automotives and all the department managers from around the store. They get them to unload the trucks super early. I'm talking about at 7 a.m. whenever the store opens. Yeah, at 7 a.m. when the store freaking opens. They unload the truck and they take everything out as they go. Now, I noticed that the first thing they put out there on the shelves is all the cases of water, all the toilet paper, and even some of the more necessities like canned food and such. Now, I don't have a problem with that. It's actually turning out really good, because by the time I come in, I see that like a lot of our work has been done already, because they've been starting the trucks earlier. They've been putting everything out earlier. But that means by the time I come in, there's no toilet paper for me to set aside for myself, when it comes to my break time, or anybody else for that matter. Like, here's the thing. Like, okay, so I could come in earlier, like I'm talking like maybe 7 a.m. and and buy my stuff, but they're in this time of fear, and this whole like this whole situation, man. Like, people are just gathering in freaking crowds at the front door at Walmart at 7 a.m. And as soon as they let everybody in, it's like Black Friday. It's exactly what you would expect to see on Black Friday. But this is not Black Friday. It's Corona Friday. Like for real, man. God, like, and here's the thing with my job, because I don't clock in until like 2 p.m. And actually, me personally, I don't clock in until like 1 p.m. And I don't usually leave until somewhere between midnight and 4 a.m. I have a weird sleep schedule. Like, I've been in this job for so long that, like, literally, I don't regularly go to bed until 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is my new 11 p.m. Yeah, I sleep at 6 a.m. I wake up, and I don't wake up until freaking noon, to get ready for work and leave. And so, like, okay, so I could adjust my sleep schedule a bit. Like, I could, like, just go to bed as soon as I get home. But, I mean, that really doesn't help too much whenever I get home at 4. And I really need to be at the store at 7, to pick up my stuff. And again, like I said before, I work in the back room. I'm one of the first people to grab the stuff, off the truck whenever they come in. But when it comes to, like, toilet paper and things, the first things they literally put out in the store and the first things people buy, like, I have to really, really freaking hope that, there's like one stash somewhere and I can just take it and buy it. Or I just gotta hope that maybe from the automotives, one of the automotives boxes in the trucks, is one of the fast dissolving RV toilet paper. And that's actually the box I bought yesterday. Yeah, so it's quite difficult, even for us working in the back room, unless you're working early in the damn morning, to get your hands on some toilet paper or some water or whatever. It's a really, really freaking crazy time right now. But you know what? Enough about the store. Let's move on to like more about how what this freaking virus thing is affecting. Now, over here in America, sure, we got people, getting cases of it, and some people even died from it. But in comparison to the rest of the world, like, take Italy, for example. People are just dying left and right. Like, Italy, they've gotten it really freaking bad. It's like the corona specifically hates the damn country. Like, they just want the freaking people dead. Like, they hate pizza so damn much that they need to kill off every single Italian there is. Like, it's super horrible over there. It makes sense why they would be freaking out, or it makes sense why, there would be such strict rules implemented over there. But over here, people are freaking out, panicking, like if it's freaking the 2012 apocalypse again. But they're like, nothing's going on here. Like in comparison to the rest of the world, this is paradise. Like literally, stuff is happening so low over here that we almost have nothing to worry about. I mean, unless of course you're living in Miami or something. But I mean, still, it's not bad over here. But people are taking it so damn harshly. I mean, and then you go over there to Italy. I heard the people over there aren't actually freaking out as bad as you would expect. In fact, they're really calm about the whole situation, despite people, dying left and right. Which I find that to be a really funny comparison. But so my friend, my best friend, he's in the Air Force, and he's stationed on an American military base over there in Italy. And so, hearing about all this stuff going on in Italy, it's making me fear for him, because and two, on this Air Force base, he's having to enforce the 1 meter rule. Yeah, like, you can't stand within 1 meter of a person. Like, my God, it's horrible. And God, like, I fear for the guy. Like, not so much if he's gonna get it. Actually, yeah, that's exactly what I fear for, because, like, I mean, I know he's a young buck, and he's a healthy young buck at that too. Like, if he gets it, again, he's gonna be in pain for a little while, but I mean, I know he can get through it. But, like, just being around the whole situation, like, what if someone, like, one of his superiors, gets it, and one of his superiors happens to be a freaking boomer or something like that, and he catches it and dies. Everything's gonna get corrupt over there. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna happen like as simple as that, but I'm saying, one domino can knock down another and another and another. It's a crazy, it's something crazy to think about. Now, I'm not the kind to want to pander fear into people or to really receive, fear, from articles and such. Like, I'm really just mellow, and I'm really, like, okay, so I'm taking this whole virus thing, like, somewhat seriously, but I'm not completely neglecting it either. Now, for the most part, I am, because, like, it's literally not affecting me almost in no way possible, except for, like, work and such, and the whole, like, and literally the whole reason why I even take this seriously at all is because, hey, people's reactions to it. I am not so much scared of the virus itself. I am fearful of people's reactions, because the way people react to it is what really creates the damage. Like, even from people taking up all the freaking wipes at Walmart and then just freaking throwing them once they get to the parking lot, and you see all this pollution everywhere, full of wipies all over the freaking parking lot, to the point to where people, some from that low extreme to the high extreme of people wanting to break into people's homes, burglarize, not so much to take their jewelry or take their children or whatever, but more so because they need toilet paper. And a lot, like I don't know if this is something like this has actually happened or not, but you can get some really crazy people that really need toilet paper that break into someone's house, and they even go as far as killing someone for just a single damn roll. Like, I'm not scared of the virus. I'm scared of the way people are reacting to it. Especially over here in America, where it's not that big of a freaking deal. Like, sure, you can fight me on that. I don't think this is a big of a deal. Just wash your hands. Just, don't do anything stupid. Don't be like Miami. And to think, all this happened because some Chinese fool in freaking Wuhan, China, thought it was a good idea to eat a bat. Now, I've heard that's probably not actually how it happened. I've heard from someone else that it started off somewhere like in a fish market or something like that. However it started, like, it's something so small that it's affected the entire world. God. Yeah. And now, okay, so last bit of little bit of a subject on this particular subject, martial law. Okay, so I'm friends with some conspiracy theorists on on Facebook, and usually, I don't take, I used to be a conspiracy theorist, but not anymore. Not since I grew up and just started, rationalizing, okay, maybe the government would do this, but I mean, it doesn't matter whether I freaking conspiracize upon it or not. I mean, I can't change it or whatever. And also, too, I just use logic. You use logic and realize the government could do this, but it would be stupid. So I have this conspiracy theorist friend on Facebook. He's always posting some kind of stuff. And one of the things I've been seeing a lot from him lately is martial law. Okay, so I get the severity of the coronavirus around the world, but I really don't see the whole point of not just quarantining and shutting down entire cities, but to freaking deploy the military, deploy the tanks, deploy the freaking drones and stuff, just to keep people in their house. Damn, Like, there's no need to go that freaking far. Like, if you're gonna go that far, you might as well be doing what freaking North Korea is doing and shooting anyone that has the virus. Like, if you're gonna take things that seriously. You know, and the funny thing is that all this, like, all this talk, all this, you know, virus, you know, things going on, all these things, they start going on as soon as I play freaking Last of Us. Now, so far, I ain't seeing any zombies anywhere. But what I am seeing is people reacting freaking like it's the end of the world. Freaking people having to ration things they already have in their house because they can't get anything out there. Freaking people saying, oh, you know, the government's going to have to employ martial law because, you know, they need to quarantine people from the virus and stuff. You know, they got to keep people away from the infected. And, like, look, I played and I finished Last of Us. It's a really great game. I highly recommend it. But still, like, really? I just find that funny. I don't really... again, I'm not trying to connect that to, like, the real world or anything, but still, like... God, it's crazy out there. It truly is. Alright, so let's get off of this damn topic here. What else do I gotta say? Well, I did also say that I'm going to be using this podcast as not just a platform for me to just, you know, express my thoughts on things, but as a personal journal. Now, what's been going on in the world of me? Well, I pretty much kind of explained it all when I was describing, you know, what I do at work and stuff. Let's see. Well, let's see. What did I do the other day? Here we go. Well, because the store has new opening and closing times, yeah, they have new hours. Now, Walmart, it's still a 24-hour store. You know, even though, you know, customers, they only have access to the store from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., the store still does its normal functions, you know, throughout the day and throughout the night. You know, so you still have overnight coming in, clocking in, doing their thing. But, you know, but once 8:30 hits, it doesn't matter. You know, you got to get out of there. You know, because we're closing. You know, and I believe that they're doing the whole closing thing because, you know, they need time, you know, to restock on things. Because, for example, the Lysol, the wipes, we're not allowed to put that out on the floor as soon as we get it from the trucks anymore, because we had a situation where a customer attacked one of our guys just to get a freaking can of Lysol off the damn pallet. You know, because of that, we can't put anything out on the floor, and they changed the store hours. And so now, in order to be safe, in order to kind of control this whole like situation going on, yeah, we're having to close the store at, you know, at a certain time so we can take the time to actually stock things, and on top of that, you know, stock things to where we can fill up the shelf as much as possible. And let's talk about filling up the damn shelves. Like, God. So, like, it's gone so bad to where there's so much empty space on the shelves, and we don't have every single product to fill up their, you know, their respective places, that our manager is saying, you know, go ahead, you know, don't have any overstock or backstock, you know, don't have anything left over that you can't fit on the shelf. Everything has to go on the shelf. So we're having to plug. By that I mean, you know, like, even if something doesn't go in one spot, just put it there anyways, because it's gonna fly off the shelves anyways. Like, I get it, you know, I get why you're doing that, but I'm still gonna try to put things in the right spot. And although it's kind of hard, you know, because again, the shelf is entirely empty, and all I have to go by is the price and the UPC number. You know, and a lot of times I can't find it because, again, I don't have any other thing to reference it to. Like, oh, I want to stock this freaking bottle of grape juice, but where does it go? It's $6.97, but where does it go? It's supposed to go right next to you know, to the apple juice and the orange juice, but there is no apple and orange juice. So where do I put this? Wow, there's more than one spot for $6.97. Oh, I'm just gonna put it here because I can't find it. Like, believe me, I'm not doing it on purpose. Like, I am legit trying my best to put things in the right spots. But I mean, I don't want to spend 10 minutes freaking stocking either, and or I don't want to spend 10 minutes stocking a single item either. Like, my God. Yeah, and it still feels wrong for me to like put things in the wrong spots, even though it's gonna fly off the shelf anyways. I don't know, like because I've been doing things a certain way for so long, it just doesn't feel right whenever we even have to temporarily change the rules. So here I am, doing this whole stocking thing, and now because they've been doing the trucks earlier, and because they've been finishing most of our stuff before we even clock in. Before I even clock in. Let's see. So like grocery, health and beauty, pharmacy, infants, pets, chemicals, everything. It ends up finishing really, really damn fast. Like we ended up finishing almost everything like right before lunch, and our lunchtime is 6 p.m. So when things get finished within like 4 hours of us clocking in, it's nuts, and we're here thinking, what the hell are we going to do next? Like, we literally done our entire job with the help of everybody else. What are we going to do now? Well, these days, they got us stocking, the places we don't normally do, like frozen and dairy, the meat department, freaking toys, housewares, anything that we don't normally do and that an overnight needs help on. We go ahead and do that. Like we're essentially doing overnight's job for them, and usually I'd be a little pissed off about that. But again, our stuff is finished. The least we can do is help out overnight, especially because the overnight department, they're still they're affected by this whole Corona thing too, because a lot of their people as well. Like, some of them are genuinely sick. I don't think because of the coronavirus, but I think it's because it's allergy season. And they're just too sick to come in. Or some of them are just too scared of the whole virus, to come into work, so they're quarantining themselves in their own homes. So the numbers for overnight is kind of dropped significantly. So, like, we kind of have to, help them out here. But, as I was saying, we stock these places we don't normally stock. Now, I shop and work at Walmart, but I don't stock everywhere at Walmart, though. I just stock in the places we usually do stock. So, anytime, like, I stock somewhere new, or by new, I mean places I don't stock, I always find things that I've never even found before, not even as a shopper. Like, stuff that I know that I would buy. Like, for example, they have me stocking Frozen for the past, week now. And I found so many meals and stuff there that I am now buying. Not for me to eat at home, or so much for me to eat at home during this whole virus thing, but more so for me to actually get for lunch when I eat over there at work. Because, whenever I'm getting food for lunch, it's either I go out and get fast food, or I bring some from home. Now, I used to bring sandwiches all the time, but a lot of times I don't like taking the time, or sometimes I don't have the time to make food either before I go to work or even at work, on my lunch break. And so the fast food options become the more convenient option for me. But the thing is, though, is that I don't like eating junk food all the time. Like, it doesn't make me feel good. Sure, it tastes good, but it doesn't make my heart feel good. So I'm over having to eat, non-fast food, just to get by. And the non-fast food that I eat is usually the store brand Chef Boyardee, because it's cheap. I can get a lot of it, and it's like two cans of Chef Boyardee last me throughout the day. Because whenever I'm eating lunch, I want something that's not only just gonna so much fill me up, but something that or satisfy me, but I need something that's gonna help me get through the rest of the day. Because our job is it's a pretty physical job. Now, not so much just stocking, but they usually have me more so in the back room doing things, working with a big machine that unloads trucks. We're working in the back, pulling pallets, and a lot of them being super heavy, freaking breaking down the truck, unloading the truck. All that stuff is pretty physically hefty. And so I need the food I need the right amount of food to have the energy to do that. And so that's why I eat 2 cans of Chef Boyardee, because I mean, shoot, sometimes it's satisfying, sometimes it's not, but whatever. It helps me, get through the night. Because remember, a lot of times I don't leave the freaking store until like freaking 2 a.m. So I need something, that's gonna last me for the next 8 hours. 8 hours of freaking physical heavy work. And so stocking these different areas of the store, such as frozen, I've seen other cheap options for me, to buy and eat for lunch. And there was a lot of like $3 boxes of like, not the Hungry Man's or the Kid Cuisine or whatever, but I'm talking about I forgot this brand. I think it was like Mary Calendars or something like that. Mary Calendars, a brand I have never heard of before, but they have a lot of like good food for good prices and stuff that definitely looks a lot more appealing than freaking eating freaking fast food cheeseburgers. Like, don't get me wrong, I love fast food cheeseburgers, but I don't want to eat them all the time. It doesn't make me feel good. Sure, it tastes good at the moment, but it doesn't feel right. Both morally and physically, it doesn't feel right. So I'm glad that I'm seeing more of these options. And shoot, even for like at home options, I had no idea we sold frozen funnel cakes. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I can't believe we sold frozen funnel cakes. Like, you do not know how much I love funnel cakes. Like, they're like, God, I freaking love them. Every time I go to a fair, every time I go to like a carnival or something like that, or an amusement park, I just have to get the funnel cakes. And up until now, like, those were the only places and the only times I can get them. And especially, like, and in general, I don't really go to those places very often. So funnel cakes were more like, whatchamacallit? They're more like a very special treat. Okay, so what you're hearing now is my sister. She's taking out the trash. But anyways, funnel cakes. They're so damn good. Those places were the only places that I can actually, eat them. And when I found out that we can have funnel cakes at the freaking store, you should have seen my excitement. It was superb. And I even cooked them over here at the house, and they taste exactly the way they taste over there at the amusement parks. I freaking love them. Like, they come with the powder and everything too. It's so good. I can't believe I could finally have the pleasure of freaking amusement park funnel cakes right here in the comfort of my own home. Like, one of the best experiences I've had during this whole quarantine time was me eating a funnel cake while watching anime. Not just any anime. One of my favorites, Assassination Classroom. God, I freaking love that show. I just finished it too, actually. And so, it took me a long while to finish the anime. Actually, when it comes to like animes in general, because I watch because I have so many of them that I'm currently watching, I have to take turns, watching every single one. And I'm not like other people in the way they watch it. Some people binge watch it, some people don't. I'm someone that doesn't really binge them unless like I really get into the story. And for a lot of them I am, but like I really only watch like maybe 6 episodes at most at a time. Because too, I want to make time for me, to just troll around on social media or even play a good game. Like, gosh, like it took me a long while to finish part 4 of JoJo because during that time I was playing The Last of Us, and because I want to be able to split my attention to both anime and my games. And you may be thinking, what about my days off? Well, my days off, like literally most of the time, I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm doing things with my friends, and and then on my other days, I have to go to work, and I'll come home till super late. So really, it's not until like really late at night that I can actually have the time to myself and do things. Like right now, like I'm doing the podcast. And so, and that's why like I've like not so much limited myself, but that's also why like I choose not to watch more than 6 episodes at a time, because I want to be able to take the time to watch them as well as play games or do whatever else. Now, it's not that I don't want to watch more. It's just that I want to do other things too. So I kind of had to make a little sacrifice there. Or some nights, some nights I don't really feel like playing a game. Some nights I don't feel like doing anything else but watching anime. Ugh, sorry about that. I had a little burp. No, but this in particular, like, so I started this anime back maybe somewhere around maybe July or August last year. I can't remember, but it was almost a year ago. Yeah, it was like well, not almost, maybe like 9 months ago. Actually, that is almost a year. Almost a year ago, I started watching season 1, and at the same time, I started watching a bunch of multiple other animes. And so it took me a while to finish the first season. Like, I think I didn't finish the first season until like maybe January, and I didn't watch Assassination Classroom at all until like literally just a couple of days ago, and I just binge watched the entire second season. And my God, was it good? Like, it was so good. Like, freaking, I really did miss the character development that you see in the show, and as well as the whole climax of what they have to do to save the world by killing their teacher, man. Like, that moment, I'm not gonna spoil how they did it. Like, and me saying that they're gonna kill their teacher, I mean, come on, that's pretty much established from the first episode, and that's something that that's like a goal in the show that they have to do. So it's not a spoiler for me saying that they have to kill the teacher, but the way it's executed, the emotions running through that, like my emotions running, like watching the very end of the series, like, God, like when I watch animes, I do get really invested into the stories. But I am not the kind of person to cry, though. Like, I mean, in general, I just don't cry easily. But my God, I have never cried in an anime before. And this one was the first one to actually make me, shed a tear. Actually, no, shed multiple tears. Now, the first time I actually shed a tear in an anime was episode 19 of Demon Slayer. If you haven't watched Demon Slayer, I highly recommend it. It's in my top 5. And wow, it's great. In episode 19 specifically, it's still to this day one of my favorite episodes of any anime of all time. Just story-wise and the context of it, and even just like the beauty of the episode. It's so colorful. It's so beautifully animated. It's one of the most epic things I've ever had to watch in any form of media, whether it's books, music, games, movies, TV shows. It's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Now, I may be overhyping it for some of y'all, or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm talking from solely my experience, and that's what you're gonna see a lot in this podcast too, is that everything I say, whether it's an opinion, whether it's a view on something, and even be, describing things, it's all coming from my point of view. So, for example, my favorite anime of all time is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Half the people I see talk about JoJo absolutely hate it with a passion. The other half absolutely love it with a passion. Using that example, not everything I say is gonna, click with everyone. Not everything I say is gonna be appealing to everyone. But I'm just talking about from my personal experience. Now, moving on. So, new topic, anime. We kind of just drove into this. Now, I didn't really start watching it till like maybe... I didn't start seriously watching it until literally a year ago, actually. Yeah, until about a year ago. But like, I kind of started watching it the same place everybody else in my age did, with the original Pokemon series airing on Cartoon Network. But at the time, I really didn't see it as anime. I just saw it as a regular cartoon. And for the longest time, I hated the idea of anime because every time I'd stay up late at night, Saturday nights, watching Adult Swim, as a teenager. Freaking I come expecting to watch like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or something, but all of a sudden I see like an episode of freaking Bleach or something. Like, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't care for the art style, and seemingly they're all like the same to me. So and even when I would see like Naruto or One Piece or whatever come on like on Saturday mornings, I just wanted to watch like the other cartoons I was used to watching, like Ben 10 or whatever. So I didn't really care about those shows, and I really just kind of like had no appeal to it at all. I didn't see the appeal for a long time. But then 2017, fast forwarding, I thought, okay, all these people that I work with, they say, anime is great. They love it. Okay, I might just give it another try. So I started watching this show called One Punch Man. I still hadn't finished it, but I watched the first 3 episodes of that show, and it made me realize that, first of all, not all animes are the same. And secondly, that it's actually pretty damn good. And now here's the thing. For the longest time, I thought all animes were like... I thought they all had to do with some freaking long spiky haired dude with a giant sword, fighting like some kind of like dragon or something like that. Like literally, that was my perception of all of them. I thought they were just all the same in that context. But then like me being in a really heavy MCU phase, in my life, watching this one superhero anime, it really stuck out to me because I'm like, wow, an anime where the main character's not holding a sword? Nani? Like, Jesus, like, I started watching it, I freaking loved it. I also really loved how they kind of like had their own spin on the whole superhero genre. With Saitama's character alone, really, it really sparked with me. Now, I didn't, even to this day, I still hadn't finished more than the first few episodes because, because also at the time too, I started watching the anime, but I didn't really have the character really keep going on, despite how much I actually loved it, because I was more focused on work and keeping up with Marvel things or whatever. And then come maybe 2 years after that, 2019, I decided, hey, this everyone's talking about My Hero, might as well start it. And two, like, surprisingly, the thing that actually made me start watching the anime was this poster I bought, because like a good friend of mine, he started hyping up this show for me. He even showed me the first episode, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually really interested in this. I want to see how it goes. I want to see, what happens. Like, how is this freaking kid with no powers gonna end up being the world's #1 hero? I got really interested in the whole concept of it. And so when we moved into our new house, and I was getting posters for my, for my new room, one of the posters I got was a My Hero Academia poster. And it took me a long while to actually, finish putting up all the posters in my room. But when I came to that one, I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna watch this show. And I didn't want to put up the poster, without watching the show first, because I don't want people coming into my room and be like, oh, you like My Hero? I've never seen an episode before. Well, why do you have it up then? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so, from that point, I decided, hey, before I actually put up this damn poster, why don't I watch the show? And so I did. And I had this idea of watching multiple shows at that, along with it, but I thought, nah, I can't even watch regular TV. Sorry about that. I can't watch a whole bunch of regular TV shows at one time like that. But ironically, I freaking used to watch freaking different episodes of all kinds of TV shows, like on freaking Adult Swim or Nick at Night or whatever. So I had no reason to have that mentality. I just still had some kind of a bad stigma against anime. But, I started watching the show, really got hooked, and I started binge watching all 3 seasons at the time. And, oh my freaking god, it was a really fun ride. And then I got to the very end, and for the first time ever, I actually had to wait for a new season to come out. Now, and get this, before this, aside from watching, a couple of TV shows on Netflix, I never actually had to wait for a brand new season of any show before. So finally writing all the way to the end of the previous season, waiting for the current season, it was hell. I truly felt the definition of show hole Now, if you don't know what a show hole is, it's this weird term that this weird cable commercial came up with, saying that, oh, you've just finished a show, good job, now you're in a show hole because you don't know what to watch next. I don't know if any of y'all like seen the commercial or remember the commercial, but I was in a show hole. Okay, so okay, the audio kind of cut off for a second, so I don't know where I was leaving off. But anyways, after spending a few months watching this show, I really wanted, to get myself into something else. So I tried One Punch Man again. It just didn't feel the same because it didn't have that same environment that My Hero did. So I decided, hey, I have this list of animes I wanted to watch. Why not try those? And so that started my whole my whole system I got going on now. And so my original 5 was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Lucky Star, Assassination Classroom, and Rising of the Shield Hero. For the most part, I am on the current arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would be finished with it, but I like watching stuff in dub. I have finished the first season of Demon Slayer. I'm currently waiting for the movie. I finished Lucky Star. I was sad when I did. I currently finished Assassination Classroom, and I still got Rising of the Shield Hero. And there's so many other animes on my list that I want to watch too. I feel like I'm kind of on a quest here. There's all these animes I really want to watch, and I want to get through their stories. I want to see them unfold. It's kind of like a renaissance in entertainment, because for the longest time, I didn't think any show would be comparable to the show, and again, it's all coming from my experience, from my views. But I never thought that any show would freaking pair up to Futurama or My Name Is Earl or Raising Hope. I never thought a show would capture me like those shows did. Wow. Again, it's like a renaissance. Anyway, so this app that I'm using to record the podcast on only allows me to record up to 60 minutes, not 60 seconds. This podcast would have been over a long time ago. But the maximum recording time is 60 minutes. And right here, we're at 57 minutes and almost 30 seconds. So, let's see. Do I want to wrap up any thoughts or not? Let's see. Well, tune in next time for more of just me rambling on about random things. I don't know when I don't know when the next time I'm gonna record. Probably might be tomorrow after work. I'm not too sure. I still don't have a for sure schedule. I want to keep for this podcast thing. I do know I want to keep doing it, and I at least want to do it every so often. I don't plan on doing it daily or anything like that. Definitely during this whole quarantine coronavirus time, I do want to get more into it because it's something that I can do. It's something that I can finally be able to do because I'm not really able to hang out with friends. But shoot, I don't know. Let's just see how this goes. Let's see if I want to keep doing this, because again, I want to keep this as kind of a personal journal too, as a way for me to just talk about things. So here we go at 58 minutes and over 30 seconds. I don't know what else to say. So here we go. Thank you for listening. If you listen all the way this far, thank you for listening to XFLiX. More content will be on its way very soon, and even after this whole corona thing passes and my schedule gets filled again, I still want to take the time, to talk, and just kind of say what's on my mind. So thank you for listening to my podcast, and I'll see y'all later.